Today is the 18th of May 2026 and we're due into port at Takoradi in Ghana today. As a reminder, we've sailed from our failed attempt to land at Sao Tome, had our behind the scenes ship tour during a day at sea, and now we're closing in on Ghana.
Monday the 18th of May? We're just coming into Takoradi. We've got a day off the ship after 5 days at sea. And just waiting for breakfast. Passing through quite a few fishing boats, and off on the horizon there, probably not picking up on the camera, is land. We're still on the way. Probably talking about an hour or so. Going up to the front lounge. Well, Angela's going up to the front lounge to set out us hitting port. And I'm going to grab the big camera and grab some footage for my tens of avid fans. Oh, this here is the Mexican restaurant where we had dinner last night. Got like this basketball court kind of thing here. I reckon it'd make a great cricket net.
Okay, what's going on today? Angela is doing a city tour and I'm going on an excursion to a fishing village called Funkoe just outside of Takoradi. It's likely that there will be some of the wooden fishing boats there and I can't get enough of those.
Okay, off the ship, heading for bus number 15. It's usually got the little dockside market there.
15 is a little bit farther.
And off on our tour, we've got bus 10, bus 15 next to it. A bit bigger buses than I'd hoped for, but there you go.
Heading out of the port area past the normal pop-up market that you get when a cruise ship is in. I'll have a look when we get back.
And it is found in the western region of Ghana. Before we leave this spot, let me give you brief information about our country, Ghana.
Out and into the streets of Takoradi. Although it's one of the biggest cities in Ghana, it doesn't seem as busy as Accra. Well, at least in this bit by the port.
Police
Traffic jam, ladies, or just heading back from the market? The usual roadside stores. As a side note, there was also a lot of road work here. It turns out that Ghana is rebuilding the entire coastal highway.
Normal street market.
How many of you know how to paddle? Okay, so when you come back to the port, you see the vendors that set up in front of the port.
On another side note, I didn't see any of the electric motorcycles I saw in Accra or Kumasi last year. They're probably around, I just didn't see any.
And they tell you, oh, how much is this? It's building a clinic.
Headed off the main road now to the fishing village now. It's the usual dirt road, but it's been raining, so it's pretty muddy and everything. Just trundling along in the bus. Some nice houses out along here.
To the beach where they go on fishing activities. Well, when they return on fishing activities, they come and sell their fish, the fish they catch, and then some of them will do smoking. Some of them
Orient myself that it looks like we went west from the port. East. It's a few, see the sea over in the distance there, and there's a few resorts and everything along here. That's a guide was explaining all these buildings we see half constructed along here. The method that they use here is rather than to get a mortgage, they start building when they've saved some money up, And then building stops, and when they run out of money, then they start building again when they have more money. Basic school, Catholic school.
And this starts from basic 1 to basic 9.
So it's Funkoe, Funkoe.
So they have the nursery and the KG to the basic 9. And it's called Funkoe MA, Municipal Assembly, Junior High School. So we are in the village of Funkoe now. And this village is made up of a population of about 5,000 people in this village.
Making a
Their
door.
main occupation is fishing. And fishing is done throughout the week, with the exception of Tuesdays. I guess you'll be wondering, why don't they fish on Tuesdays? They don't fish on Tuesdays because Tuesdays is when they use to undertake their private activities. We believe the sea goddess, and then we'll come and see the smoking of the fish. You said?
They've got
Oh, you
a
can
break
leave your
order
stuff
here.
on the bus. It will be safe. You can leave your stuff on the bus.
The kids coming down because we've got a bit of a problem at the front here. I don't know what's going on. We've got something stuck under the wheel. Oh yeah, tried to get over a big lump of wood. Some little kids bathing on the beach. But because they're bathing African style, I won't take pictures of them. Doing a bit of a warm up there. Got the nets in. There's a big vehicle to fit through the village here. That's the dunny. Audio to see how the drums get picked up. Drumming was on. I'm not going to play the tourists and video the greeting here because I don't want to sit here like a dick with the camera running and elevating so I can see what's going on. Bit of respect. Got back on the bus a bit early and probably didn't need to because they've started up some of the drumming again, and people are hanging around to listen to the drumming, which I don't blame them. And to see the fishing part of their whole operation, and we've got the elders have sat on the bus with us. They're one seat short. I offered to give up my seat, but the elder is going to go and get on the other bus. Just two interesting things is we're right close to Takoradi, and do you notice that like in a lot of these places they have mains electricity laid on, and also mobile phone service. Mobile phones are very important.
Who have spoken of the preservation of the fish by smoking, salting or drying.
So off down the beachfront boulevard to see where the boats are, and he did mention about boat building. I really hope we see them building boats again.
Our western side has a lot of rocks.
Just drive the bus up the beach.
Which has a lot of sand. And because of that, we had a lot of European fortifications. A lot of European nations came into our country to build this European fort to protect their trade. One of them, the first one that came in, was from the Portuguese, that was built in Adibjan. Along our coast, the European nations built almost about 33, 40 castles. Out of the 43 built along the coast of West Africa. And these fortifications were used for human trade.
These are some of the resorts next to Funkoe. They face the sea, which is on my left, and at this point look out over the fishing boat harbour.
I'll get a picture of them in a minute. These are some of the resorts, I think.
They know the same spot every day. So we are going to walk along the beach. We kayak on the fishing field.
So this is sort of the harbour they've got. It's quite a decent breakwater and everything here. I was going to say this one looks a bit second-hand, but it's not as second-hand as I thought. This here is probably for a steering oar, which is that there. The guy did mention something about them building boats, but there's not really any building going on here, which is a shame. I like the one here with the stars and stripes on it. I should have brought my big camera.
I got my wish to see some of these bigger, fully painted up boats close by. I only have my phone to get some arty shots.
Only thing I bought for a different perspective is my phone. I left the hour extending the in the bus. Missed the colourful ones back there. All crowded with tourists now. Look at the bottom of these boats. It's basically a tree trunk, and it's had sides added to it to extend it, and all corked up to waterproof it. That one there's got fiberglass in it. Do what you need to do to make it work. Okay, so that bracket that was on that other one is for an outboard motor. A couple along here have had inboard motors. And the net's stored there. Go down in a second, we'll have a look at this really big boat that's here. This big boat they're working on here. This is a very big sucker. Still building it, I think. I'll look to it. On the bus in the cool, it's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon and it's got very hot and humid, and we're heading off soon. Very, very nice here. Hopefully I got some good shots of the boats on the beach, but bit of a shame they weren't working on any of the ones that they're building.
On our way back to the main village to see the fish smoking operation. Just had an African Coke, not as sweet as Australian Coke, very smooth, way better.
So please, you can start to find the day of the week that you were born. And when I give you a Ghanaian day.
Through the trees. That's probably the local bar. See how they smoke the fish, and therefore see the fish that they actually catch, which I'm interested in. Too many? Enough?
Would you like to try?
I do, but she says no. You like smoked fish? Smoked meat, that's good.
So this is the smoking house. No cigarette smoking, only fish. And I won't repeat the old joke about you can't smoke fish because they're wet and they keep going out.
This is salmon. So this could stay for 6 months and it will still be edible.
How much do they sell it for?
This one could cost between about $1 or more, depending on the quantity you want.
Ooh, that's good.
Costco, where we is about $11.
Oh, you like chicken?
No.
She is a chicken.
Oh, okay.
So they got the rack there with fish smoking on it.
Would you like to try?
They call it, this is a fish that they call locally salmon, but I'll have to find out what it actually is. It looks like albacore or something like that. Somebody else have a turn. It's probably like in the salmon in the Osibasa song. So is this got what, changing money? Lottery kiosk doing what? That's one of the passengers off the bus talking to him, so I don't know what they're doing there. I had some of the smoked fish, and it's really quite nice. Said they call it salmon, but it's definitely not salmon as we know salmon. It's one of the senior gentlemen. I think is the actual village head. The guy in white here is the head fisherman, and I'm not sure who the guy in the red is. He's a major family head, or maybe head of the royal family for that area. Just a bit of excitement there due to the camera interface. Whoops, whoops. We're a bit squeezy getting under these wires. The main street of the village. These buses are very tall. Yeah, confusing bloody menus on these cameras. Not easy to navigate. You switch lenses and do all sorts of weird stuff and you don't intend. I think these buses are pretty much maybe a bit too big to come down here. Well, at least too tall.
Heading back to the port now. The guide is explaining about how marriage arrangements are done in Ghana. Seems a bit complicated but sensible.
And the woman's family as well will investigate for the same reasons. And after they clear each other, so that part of the process.
Corner is squeezy between the
That part
houses.
of the process. Married. They didn't have money.
Most of the way back to the main road, people are doing car repairs on the side of the road here.
I wonder if even tells us which time of the year you were born.
Sort of a car wreckers and car repair place there.
Bronya means Christmas, and Yao is a Thursday born. So when I hear you are called Yao, I get to know you're a Thursday.
It's a lot messier here than I remember in Accra and Kumasi. Definitely got a big problem here with litter.
These are fishing village ladies coming back from selling fish at the market.
Traffic jam ladies. As I was mentioning, the dockside market, one of the things that sort of you see a lot of is in Africa is woodwork, all these masks and everything like that, but we generally can't take stuff like that back into Australia. They'll do alright, they don't need anything from me. I just gave my US dollars to the guide and gave my cedi to the ladies from to the village for their community centre, because they're asking for donations for that. But I'm going to head back on board. I can't take photos through security, so sign off for now. So back, showered, had a little bite to eat. That is, and getting a drink at the back bar here because the inside one's open, and that's the afternoon rain coming in. It's going to tip it down in a minute. The wind is packing up the stores. The rain must dampen things off for them a bit. We're waiting for a bus that is late because it broke down. Much as I never buy anything much. Much as I never buy anything much at these stores, I do feel sorry for sort of opportunities to sell a few things to a few people get cut short, because it's not as if a lot of ships call here. So, they hardly make a fortune.
We don't know it yet, but the missing bus hasn't broken down. It partly slid off the road into one of the deep monsoon drains, and a replacement bus had to be found to bring the passengers back to the ship. Not easy when a cruise ship is in and all the buses in the city are already taken up.
Looks like this is the missing bus we've been waiting on. We're not going to do any mocking or anything like that, because we've been those people in Egypt years ago, where we didn't get back until what? We're not back in Egypt till about 11 o'clock at night, were we? We had the ship hours late. So hope they're all right after being on a broke down bus. Okay, it turns out the last bus was a false alarm. It's 8 o'clock at night, so we're 3 hours late. And this bus has just turned up with a police escort, and I think this is the missing bus. And somebody was blabbing on earlier about 300 people missing, and I couldn't see how that was going to happen unless they'd stuffed them on a bus like sardines. Your sneak's going to be in the YouTube video.
No, that's why we were waiting.
Huh?
No, move it out.
I'm not doing that voice. Piece the camera again. So yeah, that definitely looks like it. So all the mooring lines are in now. We're starting to move away from the dock, so we're underway. We just have to wait to see that with the delay, are we going to make Adibjan tomorrow, or will that get cancelled as well? So it's almost exactly 8:30 in the evening, and we're departing 3 hours late. We don't have a day at sea to make up the time. So, definitely on our way now. Let's see what happens with Adibjan tomorrow. Hopefully they can make the time up.
Overnight we're scheduled to make the 300-kilometre trip to Adibjan in Cote D'Ivoire. We should make it okay. I hope so. Check the next video to see if we do.